Good morning. It is a beautiful, slightly chilly, but just as it should be, November morning in Westminster, Maryland. Westminster is the county seat of Carroll County, Maryland. And we're going to take a walk down Main Street, as well as a few little side streets, and play some Main Street bingo today. And we're starting here at the corner of Center Street and East Main Street. And we're looking at a fabulous Victorian that is now Starling's Coffee Kitchen and something else. Coffee Kitchen and something else. We'll get a little closer to see what that says. And Bakehouse? I think it says Bakehouse. There's Hershey's ice cream there. Cute little patio in front to sit out on Main Street. It promises to be a mostly sunny day today, so it'll be a really good day for a walk down this Main Street. It will be a long walk down this Main Street. This is a pretty big Main Street. As I mentioned, this is the county seat of Carroll County, Maryland. And if we were to head down this direction on Center Street, we would have the courthouse and some of the county buildings. It's just a little too far off of Main Street to visit those today, so we won't be checking off the courthouse on our Main Street bingo card today because we have so much more to check out today. Hi, AK Blaze. Great to see you. Where are you from? We're in Maryland. We are in the county seat of Carroll County, Maryland, in Westminster, and we're going to play Main Street bingo. Yesterday, we visited Rock Hall, Maryland, and even though I said I didn't think we got a bingo on our bingo card, we did. We got the four corners on our bingo card yesterday. So even though that was a relatively short Main Street, we got the four corners yesterday. So if you don't have a Main Street bingo card, go to the posts section or community, whatever they call it, on my channel, and you can actually print the bingo card today. I know it's a silly thing I do, but it actually makes these walks even more fun than they already are. Hello, IOE Makuzi. Hello, Yokesh. Hi. Yeah, we're in Maryland, in the United States of America, in Westminster, Maryland, and we're going to check out a Main Street. If you haven't joined my channel before, I'm Sandy, and in my spare time, I am an historian who loves architecture. And one of my favorite things to do is check out Main Streets, because I think we can tell stories about communities, as well as if you're checking out your ancestors' history, doing your genealogy, you can find out a lot about how people lived by checking out the main streets here in the United States, going back 200 years. I know for you folks in Europe, you have many, many more years to look at. But when you have a Main Street community that's been preserved, you can see what your ancestors saw way back when. And here in Maryland, federal style is pretty dominant in towns and communities that existed, during the United States Civil War and prior to that. We love our brick, we love our shutters, and we love our federal style architecture, which we brought over from Britain. We adapted the Georgian style. We made it a little more practical, a little less ornamented, made it our own. And many of them have been preserved. Hey, Lily Cat, I'm in Westminster today. Great to see you. Hi, Janoon. Hello, Astros fan. Astros fan, I really appreciate you joining, but those kinds of questions we're not answering today. Thank you, AK. AK, you may be my 1,499th subscriber. I think I needed 2 more to get to 1,500. So thank you so much for subscribing. I do appreciate it. Let's get started because this is a long and interesting main street. We're going to go all the way down one side, and then we'll come all the way back because we want to see everything. And I think we'll have a lot on our bingo card today. We'll have lots to check off on our bingo card today. So as I mentioned, the federal style architecture in the cities like Baltimore, Washington, D.C., these would have been narrow townhomes, probably 2 narrow windows and a door. But here, when you get into the counties, farther away from the city, you've got more land. The houses get more grand, but they're not, probably comparably priced. Like today, when you get away from the cities, you can almost sort of afford homes. Well, hello, Matt. I'm glad to hear Matt is alive. Hi, Carmine. Nice to see you. Hello, Gregoria Teixeira. What's the objective? The objective is an architectural wander down a main street in the United States. We do this 2 or 3 times a week. Sometimes I'm in and around Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Maryland, Philadelphia. And we take a stroll. Could be down a main street. We could be looking at monuments and memorials. But I'm all about the architecture and the history. So thank you so much for joining. You need a green card? Well, follow the rules and you can get one. Hi, his and hers. This is Westminster, Maryland. And we're going to see architecture that dates back to the late 1700s, predominantly the 1800s here. This was an important town as the railroad went west from Baltimore. The B&O Railroad, the first railroad in the United States, was begun on July 4th, 1828 in Baltimore and made its way west year by year. And towns sprouted up along the way. Now this one bleeds into the mid-1800s, probably 1830, 1840. All of the dates I'm giving you today are pure guesses based on the styles I'm seeing. I have not done a ton of research about Westminster yet. So I'm just going to give you some guesses, but we'll talk about some clues in these homes. Hi, GD. So you can, you charge $1 billion for your architecture, as you should. But we'll take some educated guesses based on things like the roof line, the materials present, and the super duper clue about the age of residences is the chimney. So we're going to take a look at the chimneys too. Hi, James. Prison guard houses. No, it's not prison guard houses. It's not prison guard houses. So we're on Main Street in Westminster, Maryland. 98, 97. James, are you counting all the houses? Or the bottles of beer on the wall? One thing we do have to be careful when we're walking around these main streets in these old cities is the sidewalks. I'm going to walk super slowly, take my time, and make sure I don't fall in a hole. Now, I wouldn't call this one a Victorian. I'd call this one a modified Victorian or modified something. Not sure what. I like it though. But this building here, now we are going to have a challenge with some trees. For a main street for a city of this size, this is kind of a narrow main street and there are a lot of trees. So it will obscure the view of some of the buildings. This is the Westminster Opera House. Now I did do some research on this. This was built in 1854, so it predated the Civil War. It's been used as an Oddfellows Lodge, like a fraternity lodge. And then a town meeting place, community hall, opera house, etc. We'll get a better look as we move. But I think this view kind of shows you the scale of the building. You hire yourself and then charge yourself $1 million. Well, that's kind of cool. I guess. The one with the turret was a reward for keeping the prisoners. Why do you keep saying prisoners? I guess, out here. Okay, there are probably federal prisons out here as you get farther in Western Maryland. The ones I'm aware of are like in Jessup like in PG County and Anne Arundel County, are all the prisons there on Route 175. But I digress. So yeah, this is, why did you do research? You didn't live during the Civil War. That's exactly why we do research, is because we weren't here during that time, but maybe our ancestors were. And so maybe that's something interesting to look at. Carmine, if you're buying land to build a home, enjoy. Have fun. And good luck. Here's a better view of the entrance of that opera house. And we do have a historic plaque on that building, so we get to check that off of our bingo card. We get to check that one off. Looking at, oh, Mechanicsville, that's Virginia, right? Church bells, 8 o'clock. Okay, it rang 9, so they haven't turned the clocks back here. It is 8 a.m. Our clocks changed last night. Thankfully, we got an extra hour of sleep. We'll take another look at this building from across the street. But check that out. I think those are fake. Those are fake gas lamps, by the way. But I appreciate the effort. The Malsby building. We'll get a better look from across the street on that one. I do love the bells. I certainly do. The tin roofs here indicative of the early to mid 1800s. And here, while these would have been built kind of like row homes, painting them different colors sets them off. And I like that. I love to see painted brick. Absolutely. Oh, Sharon, I can't wait to get back to the UK to take a look at all the styles there. Now again, we'll go across the street and look at this one, but here's the library. But we'll go across the street. So I think we can check that off of our bingo card. We have library. What are they typically given to eat? A nun. I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, you're still talking about prisoners. I don't know where that came from. Hi, Robert. Nice to meet you. I do love Tudor architecture as well. I think I love it all. I think my favorite find is when you find different styles all mixed together. And some of the neighborhoods we've visited in Washington, D.C., I think for me, thus far in my travels and study, I think some of those neighborhoods in Washington give the most variety. Like you could have a Tudor next door to something kind of modern but respectful, next to a brownstone, next to a federal style, you know, that area like in Northwest Washington, D.C. is really great for that. Now this building here, I'm gonna take a guess. Maybe this was a filling station. Because it's on the corner, it is currently a distillery and tasting room. The Covalent Spirits Distillery and Tasting Room. So there's a place to check out for sure. But maybe it was a garage and a filling station back in the day. It just has that look, and it was set back from the street. Hi, where am I? I am in Westminster, Maryland. Scotland is number 1. Okay, I haven't been, so I won't comment, but it's on my list. It's definitely on my list. Robert from Canada, oh my gosh. Thank you so much for joining. Hey, Trump said, nice to see you again. Oh, it was great to get that hour of sleep last night, let me tell you. Yeah, maybe that's true. Maybe the planters are where the gas pumps used to be. This is not Canada, smart boy. This is Westminster, Maryland. It's one of Maryland's Main Street communities, recognized as a historically significant main street for a lot of reasons. For the architecture, for the history. We're going to come upon some historical markers related to the American Civil War. Recognized for where it is the county seat, you know, the head of the kind of capital of the county of Carroll County, Maryland. It's chilly today. It's what is it? It's like 45 degrees today. Thank you, Ruby. Oh, smart boy, I didn't get it. Westminster, Maryland, in the United States, on the East Coast, approaching what we would call, I think it's still central Maryland, but it's north and west of Baltimore. It's about 35 minutes from Baltimore. So the largest city in Maryland, not too far from here. And we're going to take a walk. We are walking on Main Street. This Main Street is called Main Street. Surprise. We're going to walk all the way down Main Street. And then we're going to take a detour through a residential street. And then we're going to come back down Main Street so we can look at the other side. Because right now I can only focus on one side. I'm not going to zigzag today like I do yesterday. I was zigging and zagging across that street in Rock Hall because it had far less traffic and people were driving a lot slower yesterday. Today, not on this street. People are driving like maniacs. Now, sometimes you can take a guess. Another one of those clues you can use to determine the age of a building is how many stories it has. So just by a rough rule of thumb, the older the building, the fewer the stories, right? So this one has 2 floors, probably older than the one next door that has 3 stories, floors, and probably has a basement too. This one is very, very typical of like the 1840s, 1850s here. Check that one out. This person would have had some dough. Not just for the ornamentation around the windows. There is a tin roof up there. You can't quite see it. But also that iron railing on the 2nd floor outside the windows. That's beautiful. I like this one. That one's going into the... Oh, smart boy, you might have been number 1500. So congratulations and thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Trump said. Hey, Mark, nice to see you. Hello, Samrat. Very nice to see you too. Alice, do I have American things? One that can knock people out. Do I have American things that can knock people out? Don't know what that means. Don't know what that means. Hi, Marianne. Oh, Marianne. Yeah, I do too. You know, wherever I am, I try to always take the back streets and stay off the highways so I can do that. So I can look at houses and hi, Henry. Hey, Tanya. No, this is Westminster, Maryland. Hey, Zempler. Hi, Cottonmouth. Linda, nice to see you again. Hi, Ariadne. Ariadne. Very nice to see you. Hello, KK. This is Westminster, Maryland. Wow, we've got a lot of folks in chat today. And we all got our extra hour. Well, those of us in the United States got our extra hour of sleep last night, which was great. But this would have been a main street also in the 1800s during the time of the American Civil War. And many of these residences would have been here during that time. And now we're getting the sun. Yay. We're getting the sun. Hi there, how are you? We are getting the sun on these beautiful buildings today. There is an information center around the corner, and I don't think we're going to pass it, so we can't cross that off of our bingo card. But we do have the post office. We'll get a better view from across the street, but we can cross off the historic post office on our bingo card. We're going to have a really full bingo card today. I have a feeling it's going to be a good one. Hi, MJ Watt from Tennessee. Thank you so much for joining. Is that a single family residence? It could be. Some of these homes are now like apartments. I think more of the families live a few blocks off of the main street for some obvious reasons. The traffic, although we haven't seen too much traffic here, the traffic is pretty heavy down this main street. There is a bypass, but I think folks tend to come down this main street. So I think more of the residences are around the corner, and we will visit that as well. Bingo card. We will be looking at our bingo card today with a beautiful combination of architectural styles. And again, here's a really nice look at that historic post office. So check that one off your bingo card. Liquid library. Okay, I can go for that. Across the way. Anon, I have no idea what you're talking about with the prisoners. What do we win? You win bragging rights if we get a bingo. As a community. Okay, here's a historic marker. It's hard to read. So this says that this post office had the first complete county rural free delivery service. Okay, so this post office in 1899 covered the whole of Carroll County. So this was the first post office that covered the entire county in Maryland. So that's something to celebrate there. Check that one out. Now comes the traffic. Now, do we call that the town clock? I don't know. So we have to get a little closer and see what building that is. And maybe we can check off town clock on our bingo card. Ooh, dude. I had the walk-in sign, man. He was going to take me out. The weather looks so much like it is in London, England right now. It's about 40, I'm going to say now it's about 45, 46 degrees. Hi, Ben-Hur. Nice to see you. Hello, KHT. Oh, yeah, we did. So, Carmen, I started to head down Leonardtown maybe a month or two ago, and then I got derailed in Prince Frederick, I think. So I never made it to Leonardtown, so that's on my list. So Leonardtown will be on my list. But here now we're in the area with the restored lampposts, and they do have the Hometown Hero banners. So that's 2 more spots on our bingo card because we've got the banners and the lampposts here on this main street. It's typical of American main streets to do that. Is there a cemetery nearby? I think so. I know I passed one on the way. It was a little farther afoot. But we might see one. Hey, Mike, it's good to see you again. I think you joined the channel a long time ago. So it's great to see you again from Long Island. I hope you enjoyed your extra hour of sleep last night. So let's see. I'm going to guess this is the former Firehouse. So let's check that off our bingo card. Look how beautiful that is. It's no longer the Firehouse. Let's see if we'll find the new one. But that is amazing. And is the clock correct? Well, it's an hour ahead. So we don't get the bonus point. No bonus point for having a correct clock. I know it's only been a few hours since the clock's changed, but rules is rules, and we've got to stick to our rules. But check that out. And we can see that this building was completed in 1895. Hey, Maria. Hey, Johnny. Johnny, I'm sorry I didn't see you. Johnny, I'm saying hi and good morning and have a fantastic day, specifically to you, okay? I'm also saying stay out of trouble to you. But this, I mean, check this out. So this was, okay, it was built, whoa, wait a minute, incorrect. It was begun in 1879, completed in 1895, expanded in 1927, and expanded again. We'll see the other cornerstone when we get to the end of the building. But look at this fire station. Even for one that was begun in 1879 and 1895, I'm guessing, I think we all can agree that tower was for fire watching. But this still would have been a huge building for this area going back to 1895. So I think you could see this tower portion and the bay, this first bay, was the original building. And you can actually see that, maybe you can't see, but if you were here, you could see that the brick is a slightly different color. Hey, Stephen, great to see you. Thank you, Carmine. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. If you'd hit the like button, that would be fantastic. This is great. So then, after this first bay, good morning. You can see this second extension built in 1927 per the medallion on that part of the building. So it's a slightly different brick. I think you can see it now with the sunlight on it. Added to this building. Hey Ryan, nice to see you. And then this third component of the building was added in 1978 to add a third bay. In 1978. And it retains that little medallion that says 1900 to 1906. I don't know what that means. PHHS. Don't know what that means. For this fire building, it's really tremendous. And there's a cornerstone there. And we'll move down here and get a better view from this angle. Hey Hugh, we are not a political channel here. I'm happy that you've joined us, but we are not a political channel here. This is Westminster, Maryland. Oops. And we're checking out the historic buildings. And this beautiful Victorian here across the way. No, thank you. This beautiful Victorian here in this limey green. And we were looking at some other buildings that had that olive green painted brick with red trim around the windows, which was really great. This one is good too. I have to stop saying unfortunately there's trees. It's great that there's trees. But I think you can get a really good view of this one. Hi Mimi, nice to see you. So if you can see, and maybe when we cross the street we can get a little closer up, there is some beautiful carving above the windows on that top floor, and there are stained glass panels up there too. So it's like a slate blue tile with the lime green trim and that lighter green. That is just fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Yeah, I have a feeling like probably earlier in my studies I would have hated that color. And now I just have an appreciation for variety, right? I just like to see different colors. Okay, is this a library? Okay, and this first, this may have had, I don't know, a statue, a fountain, may have been something here. There's nothing here now, but we have murals and we can check those off of our Main Street bingo card. Hi, Arun, nice to see you. Sula, I agree. I totally agree. Is this New Jersey? No, Richard, but doesn't this look like Collingswood? I don't know if you know Collingswood, New Jersey, but that's a main street that I've been down. This is Westminster, Maryland. And check out this mural. This mural has a historic map of the town. Oh, you can see a cemetery up there. Whoever asked me about a cemetery. So there's a historic map of the town. I have to be careful of the sidewalk here. This is a crazily bumpy sidewalk here. So I'll back up a little bit, but not too much because I'll fall. So here we have the Westminster Railroad, which I think we will pass the old railroad station. The map. City of Westminster, founded in 1764. This is an old one. Yes, Sharon. We have here, I know in Britain they call it listed houses. Here it's the National Register of Historic Places, and we just call it the National Register. Do I know if any homes are available in the rural areas? Helicopter. Oh, I'm sure there are homes available. And thank you for joining the channel. I appreciate it. I think I've gone over 1,500. So everyone, thank you today. We have 200 watching. That's just insane. Thank you so much. It's one of those just beautiful sunny days. Hey, Jay, I'm getting nothing done on weekends because every weekend here has just been beautiful, which causes me to go outside. Is it warm here? No. Today's probably the chilliest day I've been out. It hasn't hit 50 yet. I've got my gloves on. Smart boy, congratulations. Oh, John Doe, you owned a historic home once. That would be my dream, but I wouldn't have enough time at the moment to keep it up. So plus I like to see different things and I might get bored of my own home. So I like to travel. DB, this is Westminster, Maryland. Richard, thank you. That's really kind of you. Trump said, you're so kind. Thank you. Yeah, this is Westminster, Maryland. It's west of Baltimore. It was founded in 1764. Lots of Civil War history and lots of history, period, because of the railroad here. The railroad, there's the sign. The railroad, which began in Baltimore on July 1st, 1828. The B&O Railroad began and made its way west. And as the railroad made its way west, towns popped up. Or the railroad made its way, in this case, to a town that already existed, which was Westminster, Maryland. What do people do here? Farm. We are in farm country. We are in mill country. We are in cattle country. So cows, dairy, lots of farms. Here would be the produce farms. Wheat, beans. Good morning. All your produce here. Tomatoes and corn, more or less on the Eastern Shore, but there would be corn here too. 51 in Ireland. Yeah, that's about what it is now. I'm thinking we've gotten above 50 here. I hope so anyway. I do hope so. Apples, yes, apples. As we get closer to the Western Maryland and the elevated regions, close to, we're getting close to Pennsylvania too. We're just south of Pennsylvania, really close to Gettysburg. Hey, check that out. So apples, orchards, berries. We are not in Great Britain right now. We are not in London. But this is Johansson's. And they've got a call box. That's pretty cool. We'll cross the street in a minute and get a good look over there. How far is Harrisburg? About an hour. Bobby, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Maybe less. Maybe a little less than an hour from here. We are probably 30 minutes from Gettysburg. So, I know, a UK phone box. People, this is why people are confused and they ask me, where am I? Sometimes I'm not sure where I am myself. Hey, Abe, good morning. John Doe from Roaring, I always have trouble with that, Roaring Spring, Pennsylvania. Hi, Juan, what am I doing? I'm walking down a historic main street in Westminster, Maryland. And if you're playing Main Street Bingo, we have found the town banners, the restored lampposts, the post office, the historic fire station. I'm gonna call that one on top of the fire station the town clock, but the time was incorrect, so we don't get a bonus point for that. But we might have a bingo today at some point. We could, oh, look at this one. Again, we love the trees. Trees get in our way sometimes. Oh, Bobby, so yeah, applesauce and apple cider. Probably about 2 weeks ago would have been like the apple festivals here. Apple cider's a big deal here. Have I traveled to other countries? Yeah, I've been to the UK and I've been to France and I've been to Belgium and I've been to Canada and I've been to Mexico, if you count those. So Carmine, I love Doctor Who. And we could go on for hours talking about the TARDIS. And for kids, I always felt like the TARDIS was an allegory for the library, right? You go to the library, you read a book, and you can travel anywhere in space and time. And I absolutely love old Doctor Who. Hi, Royal Diamonds. Nice to see you. Oh, Sula, thank you. Hey, this is an iPhone 13. I hold on to phones until they die. I mean die. So I think like the 17 is out. This is a 13. But I hope you can see on this one. See, I think this one is very well balanced. Sometimes I don't like the Victorians that mix round and square features. But I really like this one. And I don't know if you can see above the porch roof are these little ornaments. It's not a railing. There's little ornaments kind of things. Looks like a house in Wyandotte, Michigan. Cool. Kimberly, nice to see you. It's great to see you. Oh, Jay, you had an iPhone 11. I know. Wow. Yeah, I just got this one not too long ago. So, and I don't add like a ton of features. I don't have a ton of apps on mine. This is probably the, obviously the most, what are you going to call it? Like uses the most energy and bandwidth is to live stream, of course. So this is I'm not going to call this the town hall. This is the city administration building. I'm not going to call it the town hall. Doesn't have that town hall feel. But you know what? I'm not hating this modern architecture here. I like the blue glass with the gray. I like that. But taking a look back on this one, what a great profile this house has. Absolutely awesome. Oh, Carmine, you have a radio license. That's super cool. That's another hobby that I couldn't even approach because it would obsess all my time. Bonjour, Fauzi. Nice to see you. Very nice to see you. Now you can see in the ground here these little arrows to McDaniel College. Back in the day, I believe the school here was Westminster Community College. And over the years it expanded and grew to a full 4-year college. And it's now McDaniel. There's like artwork here. Some beautiful artwork. All right, I'm going to be careful at this intersection. That looks like an old boarding house there. Some kind of a motel. We are heading toward another stop on our bingo card. It is our, it's the War Memorial. Up here a bit. And I believe the Historic Theater. Hello, Endeavor to Preserve. Great to see you. Hi, Barn Casino. Very nice to see you. We are in Westminster, Maryland, checking out another beautiful Main Street community. So we're walking up the, what do we think? Okay, this street does not run really north and south. Let's see, which way do I think the sun is there. That's north. So I'm walking up the east side of the street, and then we'll turn around and come down the west side of the street so we can get a good look at the buildings that I'm walking past. What do I hold my phone with? I don't know. Chris, I don't know. I bought a gimbal. Something relatively cheap off of Amazon, and I'll post it in the chat. I will post in the chat after the stream what kind of gimbal this is. Okay, here is a town clock. So we don't get 2 spaces, but let's call this one the official town clock, not the one on top of the Firehouse. Time is not correct. It is 8:31 a.m. here. By the way, for those around the world who do ask me sometimes about these things, so this is for a gallon of petrol, $2.89. Oh, that's loud. $2.89. Historically, that's pretty low. That's actually cheap. And this is for a gallon, not a liter. So what's it, 4 liters to the gallon? So I know what you guys pay in, like in England is and most of Europe is just crazy. So multiply that by 4, and that might be what you pay as a comparison. And we're coming up on the Historic Theater. Get under this tree. And another small townhome here next to a small Victorian here. This one now the Esquire and the Ladies Salon next to Top Hat and Tails Dog Grooming Salon. $3 a gallon in Ohio. Yeah, it's been hovering around that here for a while. $2 a liter in Ireland. So that would be about $8 a gallon. $10 Australian. Wow. So ours works. Thank you, Trump said, for the math. Whoops, I gotta watch the sidewalks. The Carroll Theater, Historic Theater and Art Center. And oh my gosh, Rocky Horror. You'll find it everywhere. So what we have, Nosferatu playing a few days before Halloween. A magic show the day before Halloween, and on Halloween night, Rocky Horror. Of course, here at the historic Carroll Theater and Arts Center. Wow. That's a good one. There's kind of that 1930s-ish feel to it. Hello, Nandini. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, everyone who's joining and following. Gotta watch this sidewalk. Holy moly. It's a bumpy one. It's a bumpy one. And we're heading up now. This intersection is the War Memorial. And you see the name of the street here. So we're on Main Street. This is the intersection with Pennsylvania Avenue. And if you took this street all the way up north, guess what? You'd be in Pennsylvania. This could have been the historic hardware store, maybe, or a feed store. I can imagine feed and grain stores being around here. Hey, Big Erm, great to see you. White Lion just had deja vu. A lot of American small towns look the same. So there's a lot of deja vu going on. I can see that. Another Victorian on the corner. So you can kind of get the feel for the dominant architectural style, probably for those who had a little bit of money here, with these Victorians scattered on the corners of some of these blocks. Hi, White Lion. This is Westminster, Maryland. About a half an hour south of Pennsylvania, about a half an hour west of Baltimore. Carmine, I think so. I think hardware store. I feel good about that, so we can mark that off of our Main Street bingo card. The historic hardware store. For sure. Pittsburgh from here. No, probably like 3.5 hours to Pittsburgh from here. Probably you'd hit Gettysburg in 30 minutes. So Gettysburg kind of being central, Philadelphia being all the way on the east, Pittsburgh being all the way on the west. And a block here of a total mix of architecture here on this block. Little houses, big houses, townhouses. But here, at the convergence, and I have to walk all the way up here to cross safely. Now there is a water tower. I don't know if you can see it, it's way up there. It does not say Westminster. It says McDaniel College or something like that. We can't count the water tower here today. Oh my gosh, and that guy stopped for me. That's amazing. We'll get up here and just to get a close look at what's inscribed on this memorial, and then we'll cross the street to get a better look at the whole memorial. But it says, dedicated to the honor and service of the men and women of Westminster who served in the armed forces of the United States in all wars. Nikki, hey, good morning. It is such a beautiful morning today, isn't it? Nikki, you're from Baltimore, right? We are so lucky today. Check out this day. Look at the sky. I think I say that every day, right? I think I say this every weekend. And that's okay. You have your heart set on a rural type area. Hey, it's okay because, you know, particularly in Western Maryland and on the Eastern Shore, and actually, it's why I like living. I live just between Baltimore and Washington. I can be in a big city in 20 minutes, or I could be in, you know, cornfields in 20 minutes. It's why I like Maryland. One of Maryland's nicknames is America in miniature, because you can find everything here. We have the ocean, Ocean City, Maryland, and the beautiful Maryland beaches. We have the farmland. We have mountains. Okay, what we call mountains. They're not really mountains. If you're from Colorado, these are not mountains. We have the beautiful Chesapeake Bay. So we have everything here. That's why I like living here. That's just me. All right, we're going to cross over and get a very close-up view of some of the other buildings on the opposite side of the street. No gyms. Haven't seen a gym. How far to Frederick? Oh, 20 minutes to Frederick. Rashid. Yeah, we have rivers and parks. Vernon from Miami. We do, Nikki. I agree. We have everything. Hey, Jay, nice to see you. Eric, wonderful to see you. Well, Aubrey, no, it's not everything, but compared to some other states in the United States, we have more of a variety of landforms. You know, you can go from the ocean, like literally on the ocean, to the bay, to the mountains, to the farms, to the cities, and everything in between. So here's a better view of that war memorial here, right at the crossroads of Main Street and Pennsylvania Avenue. This is not Ireland. As you can see, there's the United States flag. Yesterday, the wind was so outrageous all day long. And today, there's not even a breeze. So that's the flag of the United States on the left and the flag of the great state of Maryland on the right. Now, those flagpoles are technically not correct. An official flagpole in the United States for the United States flag is supposed to have an eagle on top. But that's okay. And the official flag pole finial for the flag of Maryland is a cross, the Crossland family cross. But that's okay. That's totally okay. What time is it? It's 8:41 here. a.m. Halloween was crazy, Nikki. I'm telling you, I was, can't remember where I was. Oh, I was in Mount Vernon at the Washington Monument in Baltimore, Nikki. And the wind, like I had to walk very slowly. I mean, it wasn't just moving the camera around, it was moving me around. Nikki, there were no Halloween decorations in Mount Vernon. All those fancy schmancy houses and no Halloween decorations. I was very disappointed. There was one little pumpkin guy on a porch, and that was it. All right, we'll get behind some trees and the sun won't be bothering us so much. So now we're coming back down south on Main Street, but we're on the west side of the street. Anywhere outside of Oklahoma is like visiting another planet. Hey, you know, there was somebody on the chat yesterday from Oklahoma, White Lion. Hi, Dart Dauber. No, we're in Westminster, Maryland. Close to Baltimore. About a 30-minute drive, depending on where you're coming from. Oh, goodness, the sun. You know, as we get closer to winter, the sun is at a low angle all day long, so it might be an issue. So here's that beautiful marquee at that theater, the Carroll Theater. And we'll get a close look here at the box office. Ah, the sun. Hi, Jay. How's life there? Hey, Carmine. Moving here. Life here is good. I love it here. I like experiencing all 4 seasons. Some people don't. Some people don't like our hot and humid summers and our cold, crisp winters. I like that. Those who don't like the summers tend to go north. Those who don't like the winters tend to go south. We are right in the middle. We're as mid-Atlantic as you can be. We are the mid-Atlantic, the mid of the mid-Atlantic. Yeah, Rashid. So Battle of the Monocacy. That's not too far from here. And we're just about up to our Civil War little sign. So we'll take a look at that. Troops would have probably come, I don't know if they came through here on the way to Gettysburg. We'll find out when we look at this little marker. But the Battle of Frederick, I'm sorry, try again. The Battle of the Monocacy was near Frederick, Maryland. The Battle of South Mountain, a little farther west, and then the Battle of Antietam, those two taking place in 1862. A few weekends ago, we were at Middletown, Maryland, which was integral in the Battle of South Mountain and Antietam. You gotta watch this sidewalk. Lenore, you are really kind. I appreciate that. I'm just a hobbyist. I just have loved history my whole life. I check it out in all my free time. I've published a few articles. I've taught some classes. Thank you. Master Boxing, you're in Palm Beach. Does not feel like Palm Beach here today, let me tell you. So I'm, what am I, 1,000 miles north of Palm Beach? 700, maybe 700 miles north. All right, so this sign tells us about the Rosser Raid during the Antietam campaign. On September 11th, 1862, Thomas Rosser of the 5th Virginia led cavalrymen on a sudden and unexpected raid into Westminster, departing from Newmarket. We're going to check out Newmarket on a future Main Street walk as well. But here's a really great view of this very Main Street in 1868. Many of those structures are still here today. That's quite cool. This is what many of our trees and bushes are starting to look like here, by the way. This weekend we've got a lot of red and orange. These trees look a little yellow. We've still got the green. This weekend and next weekend are prime leaf turning weekends. Hi, Jay. I know German people are good for German, if you're talking about German history here, Maryland, huge population of Maryland is German, German immigrants who came here in the late 1700s all the way through the 1900s. German, Irish, then later in the late 1800s into the 1900s, the Eastern Europeans, Polish, Russian. Not too many Scandinavian here. That's not a... And I think they came through the Port of Baltimore. So the Port of Baltimore, the second busiest port in the United States next to Ellis Island. And sometimes it was the busiest port. Everybody landed there. And then they made their way to the climates that they thought they would like. So the Scandinavians who came to Baltimore typically went west and north and ended up in places like Wisconsin and, Missouri and Indiana, places. My Swiss ancestors ended up in Montana and South Dakota and North Dakota. They wanted the cold. Hi, Ather. Great to see you. Oh, Blaze, you're Alaskan. Okay, so we can't even talk about cold here. We can't even talk about cold if we have an Alaskan here. I'd like to visit. I've been to St. Augustine, but not long enough to do real research there. Now, these things are cool. So when we're walking through Washington, D.C., I typically point out the fire call boxes, right? Because they're not used anymore. They've been restored. So here's another thing that's not used anymore. These newspaper boxes. These were everywhere when I was a kid, right? You got your newspaper on the corner. And like we would have the morning Sun paper delivered to our house, but if my dad wanted the evening paper, I would go to the box to pick up the newest edition. You put I think it was like 10 cents, maybe a quarter. I like these. I think these are going to become like collector's items in future. So that's a old Baltimore Sun box, Carroll County Times, and the Westminster Eagle. I love that. I know they're kind of falling into disrepair now because they're just empty. So these homes here, these buildings here, not homes anymore, they would have been here in that picture we just looked at from 1862. These homes would have been here. I do too, Nikki. Like, you could use that for something. Like, you could even have that in your house and put, I don't know, you could put something in there in your house or on your porch. Think about that. In 100 years' time, people won't even understand what they are unless they know what a newspaper was. I don't know. There's something nice about having newsprint on your hands. But these beautiful townhomes here. Oh, they're doing some restoration work up there. It's a cold day to be up on a sky. It's not that cold. I'm complaining. It's probably 55 by now. But yeah, these beautiful, very petite townhomes. These would have been here in 1862 for certain. We have a train station to find. We've had a great day on our Main Street bingo card. I know, seriously. Jay, can I send you a paper box? May I send you a paper box? Yeah, probably not a good idea. Me either. I don't need to, although most of what I collect is in paper form. I joke, but I shouldn't. Like, fire or flood in my house would wipe out my house, wipe out my heart, my collections, all my books and papers. Although now the fountain pens are starting to take some real estate up as well on my desk. All right, this artwork is called Sprouts, representing hope, determination, cooperation, and growth. Well, I'm all for that. It's nice to see artwork of different forms in our cities and towns. Although we see murals and statues most often, it's nice to see. I'm all for modern works mixed in. I'm trying to avoid shooting into the sun. Sorry. Because I'm walking south, the sun's going to be ahead of us. Rashid, it is. It is. And we've done a few walks on the water. We did a walk in Canton on the Canton waterfront. We did a walk at Fort McHenry on the waterfront there. It is beautiful. Oh, we did Fells Point. We were actually watching the tugboats in Fells Point. That was a lot of fun. Now again, this style, and you can tell by the roof line, it's the same style as those buildings up a few blocks. But the brick has been painted here. So these two would have been here in 1862. Now here's the one we looked at from across the way. That real, oh, there's a bug. that really nice Victorian. Can you check out the little details above that porch roof? Those little, I don't know what you call it. They're not finials. It's not a railing. I guess it's some kind of a rail. But you can also see in the windows on the second floor the stained glass. I'm guessing this may have been a bed and breakfast in the day. It has that sign, which is missing now. Trump said, the food in Baltimore, and including like beyond seafood. Lily Cat, I've done Annapolis a few times, but I will again. I did the Annapolis waterfront, and then I did some of the historic homes in Annapolis. So check out my prior streams, but I will do that again. I certainly will do Annapolis. But yeah, so back to the food in Baltimore. Yes, yes, yes. And I know some people say, oh, I'm not into seafood. You don't have to be into seafood. Baltimore has everything in terms of food. Check out that beautiful little fountain there. And I don't know if you can see it, the light fixture there on the porch has stained glass and metal work. It's kind of a tulipy fluted light fixture. Yeah, the Naval Academy is in Annapolis. And we can do, I think we can walk through there. I don't know if they'll allow me to film there. We can walk there. But yeah, I'm always up for Annapolis. I think we've done it during the day. We've done it at night. We've crossed the bridge, the Spa Creek Bridge. We walked across there. There are so many places around here. A porch chandelier. I love chandeliers. I really do. Oh, we missed this when we were on the other side. There are some murals. There are some paintings on that brick over there. Guess what we haven't seen? We haven't seen our historic bank. I'm disappointed that we haven't found our bank yet. But check this one out. This one has a name. It says Babylon Building. I'm gonna guess this was the department store back in the day. Oh, you make chandeliers? Carmine, that's fantastic. All right, let me get under this tree so I can shade from the sun, hopefully. The cars will leave me alone. Wow, check that out. 1896 on the Babylon Building. Definitely department store. 100%. That is a find, and it's been lovingly cared for. So that's dark green and like a brick red accent with the beige. Let me see if I can get a little, the sun's gonna get in the lens right now, but get that entire building in the shot. Wow. All right, I'm coming back for a photo of that one. Hi, Yee, nice to see you. We're in Westminster, Maryland, the county seat of Carroll County, Maryland. And this is the Babylon Building. See if we can, I'm edging out from this tree. I know the sun glare is gonna hit as soon as oh no, that's still okay. Just trying not to get in the glare. That's great. And next to it is Johansson's. Looks like it was a pub. It looks like it's been closed because the windows are all papered over. But that's the building that had that call box. Or I'm sorry, the phone booth. I keep calling it a call box. It's not a call box, it's a phone booth. That British phone booth there on the corner. These would have been important commercial buildings in the late 1800s, early 1900s here in Carroll County. Like this corner would have been the shopping corner. And I think, maybe, hopefully, maybe we'll see the historic train station down this street. And here's another phone booth, phone box at O'Lorden's Irish Pub. And this is a stone building. If we see a marker here, I'm guessing this is going to tell us it's in the 1700s. Hey, Marco. Marco. Nope, just a good book to put me to sleep. I would like that too, Lenore. Wouldn't that look great with lights in the window? All the windows? I think that would be fabulous. Book your holiday party with us. With O'Lorden's Irish Pub. With the real gas lamps in front of the door. So is it okay to have a British call box, phone booth painted in Irish colors? Is that okay? Is it allowed if that's not? Ben, is this allowed? Is this supposed to be red? I'm not sure about that. Check this out. With those beautiful gas lamps in front of the entryway here. That's a good shot. Davyverse, hey, great to see you. James. So compared to, yes, James, yes, all of you. Compared to Europe, these are all new buildings. 1700s, yep. 1700s is just like yesterday for you guys, right? Yep, I know. I hear you. All right, let me find the right place to cross when I'm not at a crosswalk. Probably not too smart. So we're just a block off the main street here. We're just gonna take a little peek at the larger homes up here. And then we'll come back down the railroad tracks just to get a little peek. Route 27, this is a major artery through Maryland. This can take you, I think, all the way to Washington, D.C. and all the way up to Pennsylvania. We're about 15 minutes, no, not 15, 20 minutes-ish from Gettysburg. We're really close to Baltimore. Someone asked me about a cemetery, so I'm gonna just give you a little peek of the cemetery from this bridge, if we can. If not, we'll head right back down to Main Street. Nope, kind of can't see it. But there's the train track, and there's the cemetery over there. Let's get back down to Main Street and finish this epic walk today on a beautiful day, as so many days have been recently. This is why I don't get anything done on weekends. So just off the main street, you'll find the larger homes, where those original buildings that were right on Main Street eventually turned into apartments. Today, businesses on the first floor, flats on the top floors. But this one, here's another view of that Irish pub. I think the only stone building we've seen today. So we can guess, just an educated guess, that this is one of the older buildings in the area, going back to the 1700s. Now go to McDonald's for a coffee. No, not McDonald's. I'll have a big old iced tea. So just peeking out over that Victorian on the corner, you can see a big, huge smokestack that says Sherwood. Don't know what business that is. But all around this area are the remnants of mills and factories. Again, due to the railroad. And here we have a few more historic markers. One we see often in this area on divided loyalties, and those families that had sons or father and son on opposite sides of the American Civil War. And then this one about the Westminster Depot. That's a good word, depot. Factory, I say warehouses. But the Westminster Depot that was here. This is another look back at those two buildings. I really like them both. I do. And I agree with whoever said, I think it was Carmine who said they would look so good decorated for Christmas. We will have to do some Main Street walks at Christmas and see like who actually decorates anymore. Welcome to downtown Westminster. Right here at the railroad. And this huge Victorian here on the corner. This one, I'm just guessing. Just because it has a porch on the second floor, just because of the size, this may have been an inn. But I am totally guessing. And I'm probably getting all of the history completely wrong. So please know these are guesses. Today was not a research day. That's a good one. Now we found the building that we thought might have been a hardware store, and I'm thinking that Babylon building would have been a nice department store. But check this one out too. I mean, this could have been, it's too big for a pharmacy. Really too big for a pharmacy. Oh my gosh, I got 100 likes. You guys are awesome. You all are fantastic. Thank you so much. I don't think I've ever had 100 likes on a video ever. And who would have thought? Westminster, Maryland. Okay, tell me in chat, like, how many of you have actually heard of Westminster, Maryland? Nikki, you don't count. I know you're from around here. I know you know your places. But thank you all so much. What I'm not seeing is like that typical pharmacy. So we haven't seen that. We haven't seen our bank as a bank, but maybe we've got a little ways to go before we get to the end of this block. This is another one. This one has at the top of it, hey, Engine 31, Westminster Fire Department. This one says Wantz, W-A-N-T-Z, buildings. Not Wantz building, but it says Wantz buildings up there. So this row was purpose built as little small businesses. Interesting, because normally something like this would be one building, maybe later divided, but this looks like it was purpose built as individual little buildings. Oh, James, enjoy your Sunday roast. That sounds magnificent. Have a fantastic day and a wonderful dinner. And this one here, this could have been, again, we talked about hardware. This could have been like a hardware store or a provisions store, or who knows what, maybe a furniture store. So we've got a name on this one. And it says, let me try to find a good spot. It says T.W. Mather and Sons. T.W. Mather and Sons building. Talk about the sun. Now this one we passed by on the way down the street, and I didn't know if it was a library because the other building said it was the library. So this one says it's a community center. Oh no, it is a library. Okay, so this is the new library and community center. With the lion. I'll have to figure out, like, you know, I think Jay, Nerd Takes Jay, and I were talking about the cartoon as a kid Between the Lions. Like, the lions in front of the New York Public Library come to life and they read stories. To figure out, like, what's the tie between lions and libraries? No idea. No idea. This one's definitely pre-Civil War. Really interesting roof line there. That could have been, I don't know, a pub, a pharmacy. We're speculating here. It does look, it is calm and peaceful. There are actually very few folks out, but we got an extra hour of sleep last night. So, oh, check this out. Okay. City of Westminster Clock Tower restoration was completed in 2023. Super. So when we looked at that from across the way, this was the historic Firehouse. And so this part of the building added in 1978. This part of the building added in 1927 with another bay. This part of the building, the original building, completed in 1895 with the clock tower at the top, which we could see when we were on the other side of the street. I'm not going to zigzag today. There's too much traffic. You can see the original entrance here. 1879 to 1895. Engine number 1. F-E-N-H. F-E-N-H. No idea, because this is Westminster. Fire Engine and Hook Company. I think that's what it says. Okay, W-F-E-N-H. Westminster Fire Engine and Hook Company. That's what I'm going to guess. And then this building was added in 1927, and then that last bay was added in 1978, and then this was evacuated or abandoned, I should say, for a new firehouse a few blocks away. It probably outgrew itself as this area grew, and the suburbs around here, the residential areas around here, are hugely popular for those who work in Baltimore, even for those who work in Washington. These suburbs in Carroll County and Baltimore County have exploded. This was my candidate for a possible bank, although I'm not completely sold. It doesn't entirely look like a bank. Grim! Oh my gosh, great to see you. Where have you been? Haven't seen you in a while, Grim. I hope you're doing well. We are in Westminster, Maryland. We're coming almost to the end of our Main Street walk. We have walked the entirety of the Main Street. We've seen some amazing architecture, both commercial architecture and residential architecture. Lots of history here on this beautiful Main Street. There's that historic post office, and we read on the historic marker that this was the first county in Maryland to have a complete route. Like, I think it said 1899, it covered the whole of the county. I was going to cross the street, but the light just changed. I'm going to find a way to cross the street because I see the town information center, and it's in a very interesting building. So we're going to take a look at that once it is safe to cross. Try to hide the sun. Sorry. The tree color, Lima. So right now, our trees, this is that weekend when they are every color. We have green, orange, yellow, golden brown, and fire red. Our trees are every color right now, and it is just gorgeous. We'll take a quick look back across at this block, but I'm heading down here on the street where the library is because I think this is the visitor center. And wow, I got a peek at this building. This is different. This is a castle. Oh, hi, Jorge from Knoxville, Tennessee. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. I'm going to guess this is this could be like a Masonic lodge. So check out the dome over the back of the building. I'll walk a little slower as we head toward this one. This is not typical. Wow. We'll check that out. Check that out with the seal. Okay, that's better now that the sun's behind behind the building. So at the top there, that round medallion, that is the Great Seal of the state of Maryland. It's the heraldic crest of the Calvert and the Crossland families. The Calverts are the gold and black, which you see on the flag of Baltimore. The Crossland families are the red and white with the crosses. Not on this medallion, by the way, on the flag of Maryland. Flag of Maryland has 4 quarters. It's the only heraldic flag in the United States, state flag in the United States. And then flanking the crest, on one side is a farmer, and on the other side is a fisherman. And that says it all. That's Maryland. Our English backgrounds and roots in that crest, the farming, agriculture, and the fishing industries. This building is not the visitor center. I am shocked to tell you, actually surprisingly shocked, that this is the Westminster Family Fitness Center. What an unorthodox use of an historic building, but I'm all for it. This is a fitness center. Okay, can anyone else tell me if they have a fitness center in their community that looks like this? It's a friggin' castle. I know, it looks like a castle, it looks like a school. It probably was. This probably was the government administration building way back when, back in the day, with that beautiful architecture and the seal at the top of the building. And now it has found a wonderful use as a fitness center. Who knew? Who knew? The New York State seal does, yeah, there are several that, have those crests going back to our British roots. Westminster, obviously, I haven't mentioned this. The town of Westminster, getting its name from Westminster, the city in London. Many of our locations, street names, and such throughout Maryland originate in our colonial British roots. And then the names of landforms, our rivers, mountains, other areas like that, come from our Native American roots. So Chesapeake, because they were already named when the colonists arrived, the colonial invaders from England arrived. The Chesapeake was already named. The Potomac was already named. The Susquehanna, the Rappahannock, the Chickahominy, my favorite river. Say that 3 times fast. The Chickahominy. But the places that needed names, like cities, towns, and streets, got their names from their British roots. Oh, an armory, Tom. That makes total sense. That makes total sense. Yep, there's the Duke of Westminster. There's Westminster Abbey. And there's Westminster, Maryland. And this absolutely beautiful main street here that we have visited today. I think, since we've crossed the street, I think I'm going to end the stream with a view of this beautiful fire station. Although we've seen many beautiful historic structures, Victorian homes, commercial buildings. So let's recap our bingo card. Town banners, here they are. Lamppost, town clock, post office, historic hardware store. We're going to give ourselves that one. Fire station. We didn't get the water tower. We got the library. We did not get a bank. We did not get a bank here. So we'll find out tonight if we got a bingo. I'll tally up the bingo card. Yesterday we got one because we got 4 corners yesterday. 4 corners counts as a bingo, and we got it. Everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. If you wouldn't mind, hit the like button if you like these little wanders, mostly on weekends, if there's a blue sky, and there seems to be a blue sky every weekend recently. But if there's a blue sky, I'm usually out walking on weekends. I'm also out on weeknights, maybe once a week, usually in downtown Washington, D.C., or downtown Baltimore, or wherever I'm working. So please do join the channel, subscribe if you like these little walks. Back to the future clock tower. Save the clock tower. I know. Thanks for so much. Thanks. We've had such a lively chat today. I apologize if I didn't get to everyone. There was so much going on in chat today. So thanks to you all. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend. Thanks to the mods. Thank you, Abe. Thanks, Jay, Stasis, Stavyverse, everyone else who came by. Take care.